We're at 401 North Market Street. I'm with Susan Leftwich from Healthwell Foundation.
That's correct,
Okay.
yes, very good.
And actually, you approached me, I think it was at In the Streets.
Yes.
And I actually had your son work for me.
You did?
Years and years ago.
Yes.
I know. Has he's graduated college now?
He has. He graduated from Towson University in the spring.
Wow.
And he's looking into kind of what you do with the video work, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Very
yeah.
good.
So
Might have to chat with him.
Yeah.
But you are, what is your role at Healthwell?
Sure. So I am what's known as the Community Engagement Manager.
Okay.
And I started in that role just over a year ago in September of 2023. And so it was a brand new role when I started. And
Nice.
so I've been kind of, building the plane as I fly it and having a great time, getting to know the nonprofit landscape in Frederick County and getting to meet great people like you.
Yeah, it's really awesome that when you're in a role that's brand new, it's like there's kind of no right or wrong, right? You're just forging your way. But
this is true.
Obviously your role is to introduce people to Healthwell.
Yes.
And so let's tell our viewers what your organization does.
Sure. So we are a 501c3 national nonprofit organization, and we assist people with medication costs, essentially, and a few other things as well, but primarily medication costs. But the local connection is that we have 2 offices located locally.
Okay.
We have our corporate office in Germantown, and we have a contact center that employs just over 200 people right here in Frederick.
Whoa.
I know. So,
wow.
Yeah, the thing is, I usually lead by saying that Healthwell Foundation is the largest nonprofit that you've never heard of before.
Yes,
and
this is true.
And it's my role to kind of change that narrative.
Yes, yes. Okay, so when you say you help people with their medication, so tell me, who is the primary target that you're helping?
Sure. So our primary target would be people who they have to have insurance to apply. That's one of our eligibility requirements. And so once insurance has paid their part, oftentimes the copays can still be, astronomical, depending on the disease that they have. And so that's where the Healthwell Foundation can come in and assist. So we do so through over 90 different disease funds. We cover 90 different disease areas, and about a third of those are oncology related.
Okay.
And so people can go one of 2 places. They can go online to www.healthwellfoundation.org, or they can reach out to our contact center, which is what I had mentioned earlier.
Right.
Our 200 employees here in Frederick locally, and I am honored to work side by side with these people every day.
Yeah.
We believe in total patient care, and these people live that every single day. When a patient calls or a potential recipient calls, they take the time that they need, they take the care that they need to get it right, to walk people through our process. It can be a little overwhelming and complicated, so they'll walk people through that process and help where they can. So if they're eligible, then they receive a grant. They have 12 months to use the money in that grant. And then if they've used it up after 12 months, they can always reapply for additional grants as well.
So I'm assuming, let's just say it's a cancer patient whose drugs are $5,000 a month and their insurance is paying $3,000.
Right.
Then potentially the grant that they could get, would it cover that balance for the 12-month period?
Sure. Yeah, so our grants they come in different amounts.
Okay.
We spend a lot of time really researching how much it costs to get someone through that diagnosis, because every disease has different requirements medication wise, it costs different amount of money, depending on the disease that you have. So we put a lot of research into it, and our grants are set accordingly. So some of our grants can be $2,000. Our hepatitis C grant goes all the way up to $30,000.
Wow.
And like I said, they have that 12 months to use that money. So the way it would work then is that, let's say they go to the pharmacy, they run the insurance pays their part, and then the patient would have a number that the pharmacist can put in, and that money gets deducted from their grant amount.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So it's simple. It's simple
Yeah.
for the recipient to make sure that it's not complex on that end.
We try
Yeah.
not to be, we try not to be. And then there are a few other things that we cover. Like I said, it's primarily medication costs, but some of our disease funds will also cover transportation costs. Some of them will cover insurance premiums, deductibles.
Oh.
Some of them cover lab testing, vitamins, supplements. So each disease is very specific
Okay.
to what's needed to cover that disease.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's a national organization, right?
Yes.
But it has offices, and it has offices around the country? Or
Actually,
is Frederick,
that's it.
everybody calls in and comes to Frederick?
Correct. So our corporate office is in Germantown, and we have around 40 to 50 employees there.
Okay.
Our contact center is here in Frederick. And since I've been on board in this past year, really my job has been to a couple of things: to work with other nonprofit organizations in Frederick County, to to kind of get to know the landscape, to give back where we can, to be a part of the community. So one of the things that we do is I'm in charge of a volunteer program where we send out teams of volunteers, anywhere from 1 to 3 teams a month, and we work with the United Way of Frederick County, Blessings in a Backpack Frederick chapter, and then there's also a nonprofit called Comfort Cases down in Montgomery County that we've been sending some volunteers out to.
Yeah.
And in the future, as I'm getting to know some of these other nonprofit organizations, I really hope to collaborate with them, maybe on some bigger projects.
Yeah,
So.
what I can say about this community, the nonprofits are amazing at sharing information and resources and referring people. I mean, the whole goal for a nonprofit is to help the people they can, right? And
Absolutely.
So, I think you'll find it's very welcoming, and people really want to help and make sure people are taken care of.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I've met a lot. I joined the chamber this year, the Chamber of Commerce,
Nice.
and through that, that's really been a great avenue for me to meet lots of other nonprofit organization people. And then I'm a part of the Leadership Frederick County class this year as well, and that's been an
Congratulations.
excellent. Thank you, and that's
Yeah.
been an excellent resource to really get to know how Frederick works and really get to know the
Yeah.
people who run it.
How are you
Yeah.
guys funded?
Yeah, great question. So we are funded in a combination of ways. It is a combination of corporate donations and private donations. And while our grants are, it is, if you are eligible and you receive a grant, there is no expectation that you're paying it back. It is money that's set aside for you. However, a lot of our private donors, oftentimes they'll go through a season of life where they need assistance, and then down the road, they give back. So a lot of our
very
private
nice.
donors are people who have received grants from us in the past, and then again, we also have some corporate donors as well.
And do you guys do fundraisers or anything like that?
Yeah, no, we do. We have a development team that works very, very hard, to seek funding. And again, that's one of those things where I'm looking to collaborate with some of those other nonprofit
Yeah.
organizations to maybe look at that in the future. But we do have a very good development team in place that, one side of it works with our corporate donors and one side works with our private donors.
It must be
So,
amazing, because the
yeah.
fact that you're not out, like, in a large way looking for those funds,
Right.
which is why we haven't heard of you.
Right.
How many people do you help currently?
Yeah. So we actually our foundation started in 2003, and we gave out our first grant in 2004. So we just celebrated our 20th year, and we also just celebrated our 1 millionth patient.
Wow.
As well. So yeah, so that's really exciting. And then another thing that we're really proud of is last year we were named the 23rd largest nonprofit organization on the Forbes list of nonprofits. So
What?
yeah, so really exciting. And it's like I said, we're that largest nonprofit that people just haven't heard of, and we're working really hard to start getting our name out there so that we can
Yeah.
become a household name.
Yeah, well,
So.
this is a great place to
Yeah,
start.
absolutely.
And, look, if you need more information, it's healthwell.org.
It is www.healthwellfoundation.org.
Foundation.org.
Yeah.
Healthwellfoundation.org. Go on there, get some information. Maybe you're in a place where you can donate, you want to help, or if you know of somebody who might need some assistance with medication costs specifically, go on and see if one of the things you're being treated for is one of the things that they will give you money for, and then you can contact one of these people in their contact center.
Absolutely.
And find out if you qualify, and then hopefully get some help. That's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for the opportunity to
Oh.
come here and talk about it and help me get the word out
Yeah.
for the good that we're doing here. Appreciate it.
Look, I think it's crazy to me. I've never heard of it, to be honest. And but obviously you guys are doing some great stuff and helping a lot of people, which is really key. And obviously those people must have good Google searches and say,
yes.
how can I get help with my medication costs?
Yeah.
But I know it is an expense, especially if you're going through certain things. It's really tough to try to figure out how I'm going to pay for that, not pay my rent or pay my mortgage and all that stuff. Hopefully you can get a little relief if you need it.
For sure, yeah. And one of the good things to know is that it doesn't have to be the patient that applies. Actually, most of our referrals come from providers or pharmacists.
Oh.
It can also be a family member or a caregiver. Anyone can apply on the patient's behalf as long as they have permission from the patient. And so they can go on and do that for them. So that's a very big help.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
Healthwellfoundation.org.
Yeah.
This is Susan Leftwich. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome to the inner workings of Frederick.
That's
You've
right.
jumped right in with both feet. We can't wait to see what you're able to accomplish
Thank you.
this year. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank
Appreciate
you guys
it.
for watching.